And welcome everyone to another episode of Only One Truth. Only One Truth. One of your hosts, Raheem Aljamain, and we also have with us,
Sharon Gaylord.
yeah, good deal. And I'm actually out of Atlanta, Georgia, and she's from parts unknowns. We ain't gonna tell you where she at, but she here with us today. But listen, we got something we're gonna talk about today, and something happened today. What's this? January the 13th, Wednesday, January the 13th. We have a president of the United States of America that has been impeached. The same president of the United States of America has been impeached two times, twice. This time it's gonna stick though.
It's
And
good.
so, and there was a lot of things that happened to build up to this point, whereas he has been impeached. So many things has happened. Um, from where I'm sitting, he has been very divisive. He has been one of the most divisive presidents in history. Um, History's going to write his own book about how good of a president or how bad of a president he is or was. But today, Sharon, today he was impeached for the second time. What's on your heart concerning that?
I just think that today is a really sad day for the U.S. The
Mm-hmm.
fact that, our democracy has been, it's just been so screwed up having Trump in office.
Mm-hmm.
I think that, that if he was to go a different direction and really want to bring the country together, there were so many things that he could have done. But
Mm-hmm.
instead of doing anything to bring us together, he focused more on himself and what he believed,
Mm-hmm.
and it eventually ended up tearing us apart.
If somebody was to ask you the question, he's been in office for 4 years. He almost made it to the door. One more week, and then inauguration, Biden and Miss Harris will take over. But in the course of the 4 years, if somebody would have asked you, what did he do good? Did he do anything good? What would be your response to that?
Personally, I don't see where he did a whole lot of good on anything. They say that with the economy, he made the economy better, and in some ways he did, but his bad outweighs his good.
Okay. Now, even with that, I question that. Did he make it better, or did he ride on the coattails of what Obama had already placed in position, and he just reaped the benefits of the last administration? Do you think was there anything that he did, or was it some of the things that Obama had already put in place, and because of the fact that Obama had it in place, it had to play itself out, and he just reaped the benefits during his administration?
Yeah, I do think that he rode up the coattails of Obama with a lot of things that he did, and the fact that so many things that Obama did, he tried to overturn.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think that he took credit for quite a few things that was not his right to take credit for, but he thought that he could.
Mm-hmm. Is he is he a racist?
Absolutely,
Hmm.
absolutely. I feel like he is. I
Okay.
feel like that if he it's all about the other races. It's
Mm-hmm.
not about the black race or anything that does not stand for white. I don't feel like he is for us.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like if he could have tore it up more, he would have.
Okay. I did excuse me. I did a TikTok a few days ago. As a matter of fact, I think it was Thursday, and it was talking. It was to the effect of, if I had a friend, and a friend got into a situation with some people, and there was going to be a dispute, fight, if you will. Excuse me, a fight, if you will, and they invite you to come out there and help them because they need help. They know that you down. You be there with them, and they
Hmm.
tell you it's going to be over here. It's going to be at the little spot down the street at the corner at whatever the address is, and you go there, and the people that you're supposed to be fighting is there, but the person that you're going to help is not there. And you get out the car, and everything go down. There's a fight. There's a battle. But the person that you're supposed to be going to help is actually at home enjoying their meal. And you went down there, you fighting somebody else's fight. That wouldn't set too well with me. And and the reason why I said all that is because that's pretty much, isn't that what Trump did?
That's exactly what he did. He sent them to the Capitol and told them what to do, what he thought they should do. And then
Mm-hmm.
he went to the White House and he stayed out of it. I
Mm-hmm.
don't think that he thought that his words and what he did, that his hands was going to be dirty on it, you
Mm-hmm.
know. But the fact that he incited this riot, the things that he said, they were hateful. He
Mm-hmm.
sent them there to do just that. And it makes me wonder if this was all, whether or not this was all pre-planned in the first place.
Mm-hmm. Because and what I heard him say is I will meet you at the Capitol, at the Capitol
Mhm.
building. I will meet you at the Capitol building. We have to do this. We have to take it back. We got to be forceful. We can't. We're gonna lose our country
Mhm.
and all these stir up words that he said. But in the course, I will meet you there, and all this stuff went down, and Donald wasn't there.
Mhm.
That sounds very cowardice to me.
Absolutely.
That sounds very, very cowardice. That sounds like the kind of individual that would throw a rock and hide their hands.
He would. I could see that because he has so many people following him that's willing to do the dirty work for him. You
hmm
know, so therefore he feels like that he's privileged when it comes to that. I don't think that he ever thought that he would be the one that would be held accountable for the actions of last week.
hmm
And I
Exactly.
don't think that he feels sorry about anything that he did.
hmm hmm And see, and that's the whole thing right there. That's the whole thing. He don't think he's accountable because he actually said it that some people, he's quick. He's quick to say some people. Some people say that some people feel this way, but he never tell who.
Hmm.
Who are these people you're talking about? Bring them to the carpet and let me have a conversation with them. Let me find out why they feel the way that they feel. But if you never produce a person, brother, I might think you might be selling something that's not true.
I think he's talking about when he says some people, he's talking about himself, but he can't say Donald.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
feel this way. Of course, he has to put someone else in there to make it seem as if it's somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that as long as the Republicans, those that still don't believe, keep upholding him, that we could still have a rough few days ahead of us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What do you think is going to happen moving forward? What do you think is going to happen? Because I think that the people that support him now that he's been impeached, because he actually made a threat yesterday, I think it was, saying
Did.
that you don't want to impeach me because the people, my followers, will not be pleased with that. You might not want to do that, and now he's trying to threaten the whole country
Yes.
to not impeach him.
Hmm.
Trying to
And
threaten the whole country. Go ahead. What's on your heart?
I have to wonder if by him saying that, he talks in his own way. Some of the things he's saying could be something to tell them, okay, now it's time. He can't
Mm-hmm.
say actually come out and do this. So I think pretty much some of the stuff he says, he's talking in code. You have
Mm-hmm.
to listen to what he's saying and make sure that you are watching yourself, because Donald Trump and these things that are going on right now and the people that are out there, you don't know, you can be sitting at a table with someone or
Mm-hmm.
sitting riding in a car next to somebody. You really have to be careful now about your surroundings, because you really do not know who is and who's
Yeah,
not.
yeah. And see the thing about it, you have to be careful every walk of life right now because you could be driving down the road and pull up to a stoplight,
Yes, right.
and the very person that's sitting beside you in the stoplight could be one that has an intention, a thought of taking
Hmm.
you out,
That's true.
of taking you out, and so it's gonna be rough. And I tell you, Biden and Miss Harris, they have a heck of a job ahead of themselves, trying to get this country back to some sense of normalcy. How do you think it's going to be? What are some of the things they should do?
Number one, they're gonna have to try to get us all back together. It's gonna take a lot, because it's gonna start at the top. No, he can say whatever he wants to say, but until we all come together with um, doing what we need to do for the
Mm-hmm.
country themselves. A lot of people, you've seen a lot of different colors on a lot of different people.
Mm-hmm.
And until they decide, okay, this is what I want to do, or this is what I'm going to do, we don't know. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
even some people that I thought were friends,
Yes.
because of this whole situation,
Mm-hmm.
you know, we've gone our separate ways, and that part of it, that's just part of life, but you have to take and deal with it.
Mm-hmm. And
So,
see, that's the part that and everybody said that 2020, and they say this all the time, but when it was coming in, it's going to be the year of clear vision. It's gonna be a year of clear vision. 2020 is gonna reveal some things, but I don't think anyone was prepared. I don't think anybody was prepared for this and all the things that's happening with 2020 with the pandemic and all these different things. There's a lot of things that's going on right now that I don't think we as a people collectively was ready for.
Yeah.
Certainly not having a president that incites riots, tell people to go into the federal building, the federal capitol building,
Hmm.
and be disruptive. Now you got people that's inside and let me say this. Let me say this. I'm still having a hard time because I'm looking at the vote to impeach him, and there is still, even after this, if all this after all has been said and done, the dust
Hmm.
is clear, they're still voting to keep him in office, to not impeach him.
197.
I'm trying to figure out how in the what world are they living in? These are the very people. These are the very people that was actually in the Capitol building, scared for their life because
Yeah.
of what because of what this man has done, because of the people that he sent down there to be disruptive and even kill you.
Hmm.
But still, you will vote to keep him in office and not impeach him. I'm trying to help me out. I'm gonna put you on full screen because I want you to help me understand this. I'm gonna give you the floor. I want you to explain it to me. Explain how in the world could this be possible because I don't get it.
Well, to be honest, Raheem, I don't understand it myself. I've been trying to figure out the same thing. When they actually see for themselves what he has done, what he is willing to continue to do, and the fact that they still stand behind him, it completely baffles me
Hmm.
because I feel like with them knowing and the knowledge of everything that they have, and they still don't want to take an act on that, what is it that possibly he has on them? Because
Hmm.
it has to be something. There's no excuse, there's no meaning, there's no excuse whatsoever for this.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's where I stand. I'm gonna pull up some comments here. Public citizen said they knew he was corrupt piece of garbage, and I'm glad you said garbage, brother. I definitely appreciate that. Since day one,
Yep.
they have no integrity at all. He said they, and speaking of the people in Congress that actually the Republicans that voted to keep him in office, he said they have no integrity at all. And I
Mhm.
have to, and I can't say that he's wrong. I cannot say that he's wrong. What do you say to that?
I can't see he's wrong either.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they had some integrity, they really wouldn't have voted the way that they did today. They are
Exactly.
still in all so many ways still upholding him for all of his wrongdoings. And for
Mm-hmm.
that they are wrong too. Because all of their lives were at risk, just like the Democrats and the other people in that room. But
Mm-hmm.
still yet they hold him on the throne.
Mm-hmm.
I truly do not understand why.
I mean, and my thing is, what side of history do you want to be written on? What side of
Mhm.
history do you want to be on? Because you know, to go down in history as a person that saw all these things, everything that he's done throughout, and then to have him to do this right here, and then to threaten. Not only did he threaten, he actually called down here to Georgia. He called down here to Georgia and tried to threaten the governor here, not the governor, but the Rappaport, whatever his position. I don't know what his position is, but actually try to threaten him. I only need this amount of votes. Give me this amount of votes so I can win.
Mhm.
So I can win. You're threatening everybody. You're trying to do that same strong arm thing that you try to do throughout your whole life. It doesn't work in this arena. It doesn't work. But yet and still, even with all this, they still want to stand behind Trump. What in the world does Trump have on these people?
I have to wonder the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
He has to have something for them to still want him to be in office, or not necessarily be in office, but to be able to run in 2026. He
Mm-hmm.
has to have something. I mean, from day one, they've overlooked anything, in everything he's done.
Mm-hmm.
Had that been Obama, he would have been gone a long time ago.
Exactly. And I talked to you about this earlier about how difficult it is for Trump to have to follow behind Obama
Yes.
because Obama was pretty much squeaky clean. He didn't do anything. He didn't really do anything. He wasn't in the news. And my thing is, it's going to be interesting after next week, um, maybe even after February, March, whatever, whenever it is, how the news is going to be because Trump in the last 4 years, he just monopolized the news.
Yes, he
All-
did.
Everything on the news had something to do with him in some kind of way.
Hmm. Hmm.
And so, it's gonna be amazing for them to have to find a story to talk about now because Trump he's been the center of all the attention, and that's the way he wanted.
Yeah,
That,
if you
that
wasn't for him, you were against him. I mean, it
hmm
was no thin line when it came to that. Either you are or you're not.
hmm
So I have a question for you.
Okay.
So what do you think it's going to take? Biden is going to have to do, and what's going to take for him to get everything back, other
Mm.
than an act of God?
Okay, I was gonna say that first, huh?
Hmm.
um, Biden, it's gonna take. Honestly speaking, it's gonna take a lot of patience from him. It's gonna take a lot of patience. It's not gonna happen overnight because the things that Trump has done and the hole that he's dug for this country, for this world, it wasn't done overnight. It took him a good 3 4 years to do it. And so Biden, if he's expecting to go in office, and he's putting a good team together. But if
Hmm.
he's expecting to go in office in a month, 2 months, 3 months, all this stuff to just go away, it's not. It's not. He have to show a lot of patience, and he have to continue. He have to continue to chisel at this thing. He has to
Hmm.
continue to chisel at it until all the cancer is removed. Because there's a cancer in this country right now, and he got to figure out what's the right chemo to remove this cancer. Maybe it's gonna even take surgery, a surgical a surgical procedure to get this cancer out. It's
Do
gonna
you
take
think?
it's gonna take something real serious to make it, whereas we can start to heal. Because if you try to place a band-aid on it, it's not gonna help. It's not gonna help. I'm going to put this on the screen here and see what public citizen says. They wouldn't impeach him all over the corrupt scandals, only when their safety. Oh, he said they wouldn't impeach him over the things they did only when safety was in question. Did they take actions? And there's more things that he said. And the phone lines are open 678-381-1973, 678-381-1973. Give us a call. We love to have your input on this conversation as well. We're talking about the impeachment of Donald J. Trump. Donald J. Trump, whatever that J stands for, junk, I don't know what it stands for. But we're talking about the impeachment. And let's talk about that for a second. They didn't do anything. He had a good 3.5 years to do all the things that he done, and they tried to impeach him, and they would not pass it through the first time. Didn't go
Mhm.
through. Whatever happened, only until their life was in jeopardy. Only until he did something like this, where it would put them in harm's way,
Mhm.
that they would vote to get him out of there. Why do you think that is?
I I think that it took rage. It was a moment of rage, and they were fearful for their life, and they knew that if he went to the length, to that degree and that length of
Mhm,
jeopardizing even their life, so that he could take and say that he won an election, so that he
mhm,
would get what he wanted. And for once, I think that they saw that he only cared about himself. It was
mhm,
no longer about them, and he was willing to do whatever he had to do in order to get what he wanted.
mhm. And let me go ahead and say it. Poor Pence. Poor Pence.
I
Lord,
know.
poor Pence in a terrible situation because he was one of the ones that was there, and he's
Hmm.
the vice president of the United States of America, and your president actually turned his back on you. Whatever
Hmm.
happened to you. He didn't care about Pence. For
Hmm.
for, for a while, Pence didn't even talk to him because Pence knew what he was dealing with. He knew that the snake had rose his head up, and when the snake rose his head up, Pence knew that the snake was there to bite him. And anybody
Hmm.
that was in front of him, the snake was going to bite. Pence just happened to be one of the ones that was in striking distance. And so, but again, even question about him because he would not do the things that he would do to implement what's that Article 25. Pence,
Yes.
yeah, Pence will not, for whatever reason, still loyal to Donald Trump, the very man that put you in harm's way, the very man that didn't do anything to try to get you out of that situation, the very man
Mhm.
that did not care about you at all. Pence will not invoke the Article 25. That make me scratch my head, and I know my head don't itch. What do you think about that?
It makes me think, why is he so fearful of Donald Trump?
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, he is scared of Donald Trump. Could it have been something that Trump could have said to him and
Mm-hmm.
threatened him, and we don't know about?
Mm-hmm.
Because he's seen all I mean, the handwriting is on the wall.
Yeah.
He read it. So it has to be something very strong and very powerful that that man has against him for him to do it.
Mm-hmm. And Badger wrote, "How about impeach everyone in the House and Senate, plus the president and start over?
I don't think everybody should have to take and pay the price for what he's done. For those that still follow him and
Mm-hmm.
have said some of the hateful things that they said. I mean, I think the senator that spoke, I think Rudy Giuliani when he spoke, I think
Mm-hmm.
all of them was part of inciting that riot, and I think they should be held accountable for it. But everybody shouldn't fail or shouldn't fall because of the fact that Trump did what he did.
How do you weed them out though? How do you know which one? How do you know if you got a bushel of apples, you can go through the apple and you can pick through the apple to find out which one the good one, which one the bad, which one got a bad spot, cut that bad spot out, and probably keep the rest of that apple. But in a situation like this, how do you read them out? How do you know?
A person's actions speak for them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Actions speak louder than words.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that their actions and their words and some of the things that they're saying, their behaviors, some of the things they've said, that it shows.
Mm-hmm. Now, what should be next for Donald J. Trump? What should be next?
I think that he should be prosecuted
Mm-hmm.
to the highest extent of the law
Mm-hmm.
for not only what he did towards the riots, and for the other things that he's done in his own personal life and some of the things that he's done there. I think he should be held accountable.
Mm-hmm. Do you think he will be?
I hope so,
And
but anything's possible. We have to wait and see what they do. He's no longer president. The stuff about self and him going in and him doing what he's doing. I just think that in time will show.
now this is a number I have never seen before, so I hope it's a good caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, this is Public Citizen, also known as
hey,
Paul.
hey, also known as?
Paul, that's my real name, Paul.
Okay, can I call you Paul?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, Paul, and thank you for calling. Definitely appreciate you. Where you calling from?
I'm in California, in Los Angeles.
Los Angeles. Good deal. Good to have you with us, brother. What do you think about this whole process that's going on right now with the impeachment of Trump for the second time? What's on your heart, brother? Talk to me.
Yeah, well, I mean, a couple things. One, oh, my dogs are acting up. One is, yeah, like I said in that comment, this is long overdue. He's been so corrupt from day one, and they knew it, during the campaign. But they're lust for power.
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't stop themselves. They knew he was terrible. I mean, this is about as close as you can get to the Antichrist, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. That's true. That's true. Now let me ask you this, Paul.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think is going to happen now that he's been impeached? Because he made a comment just yesterday talking about, well, if you impeach me, my followers is not going to be happy. It's going to be some terrible things going to happen, some real terrible things. You know how he talk. What do you think is going to be next? What do you think they're going to do? Do you think it's going to be some violent situations that's going to come forth because of this impeachment, or are they going to just let it go away? He's impeached. He's out of office. It's done. What do you think is next?
Honestly, I mean, I've been reading some articles. They're saying they were expecting 5,000 people at the Capitol, 5,000 of these so-called patriots, ready to stop the inauguration of Biden, and then they want to attack all the state houses and all 50 states and all this. But here's the thing. Here's what I wanted to really say when we're talking about the impeachment. Okay, he's guilty. He's 100% guilty for inciting. But as you guys have been saying, what about Ted Cruz? What about Rudy Giuliani?
Mm-hmm.
What about all of these representatives? And not only that, I follow right-wing media like crazy. I'm obsessed with it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's hundreds of these people, thousands of these people. Where's their? I mean, technically they're not breaking the law. It's a gray area.
Yes.
What are they saying? They're saying we need to get active. We need to, we can't. Their language is like borderline. It's like it's not illegal technically, but there's millions of people in our country that are so confused.
Yes,
and that's the real problem, is how confused people are.
Mm-hmm. Well, Paul, let me ask you this question, and Sharon may have a question for you as well. But how do we begin to heal after all this said and done, and we've gone through this moment, and this moment has passed us? How do we, as the United States of America, not even the world, but as the United States of America, how do we start to heal?
Wow, I don't know. I mean, I was against Biden during the campaign, It's kind of a Bernie supporter because I think he has the best policies for working people.
Yes.
But in retrospect, I think Biden is the guy. Honestly, the way he speaks, he speaks in a way that shows he has some compassion.
Is he Paul?
I don't know. I don't know how we heal from here. We are so messed up. Our country is so messed up.
Yes.
I don't even know.
Do you think Biden? Do you think he's firm enough? Do you think he's firm enough to make a difference right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think as bad as things are with the economy and COVID and everything, I think it's going to take some. We're going to have to make some major changes to our country. Give people health care. Give a minimum wage that people can live on. Make college affordable. Our basic things that are going to improve our lives.
Yes.
There's going to be no choice. I'm telling you, in my neighborhood, there's people in tents down the street. They're living in tents.
Wow.
We can't sustain that. So I think it's going to be like there's no choice. Trump was the worst person that we could have possibly. I hear some right wing people say, "Oh, he was the right person for the time." I don't think anything good came out of this. Do you think anything good came out of this?
No, I can't see it. Paul, let me get you to do something for me. Somebody else is trying to actually call in, and we're having an issue with the phone line. So if I could get you to do this for me, I want you to hang up, give me 20 seconds and call right back in. I'm gonna redo the phone line. So hang up, give me 20 seconds and call right back in if you don't mind doing so for me.
Okay.
Because I know Sharon, I'm sure she has some questions for you too. So give me about 20 seconds. I'm gonna redo the phone line and then call back in. If you hold on, we may be okay. Hold on. Yeah, that caller won't come through. So yeah, give me 20 seconds and call right back, bro. I appreciate you.
Okay.
The phone line for whatever reason is acting up. I see you from the 330 area code. I see you calling. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna redo the phone lines and we'll definitely be able to get you back in. In the meantime, Sharon, while I do the phone line, what's on your heart? Paul put some very interesting things out there.
He did, and I hope and I pray that we'll all be able to come back together. We will never be the same.
Yes.
But I hope that we can work towards some type of unity within our country, so that we can work together to make the best out of the issues that we now have. America has a lot of healing to do. I mean, our allies, everybody is looking at us. So Biden has his work cut out for us.
And see that's the thing right there. Okay, we got the other caller in. Paul, I see that you're back. I definitely appreciate you, brother. We got another call from the 330 area code. What's your name? Where you calling from?
My name is Pandora. I'm from Akron, Ohio.
Hey, Pandora, how you doing? Pandora,
I am fine. How are you?
I am doing well. Thank you for calling. I definitely appreciate you. We're talking about the impeachment of Donald Trump that happened today. Actually, the second impeachment. What is on your heart concerning that? What good, what bad could come out of this? Or what's the healing process that we have to go through as a nation right now?
Well, I understand your questions, but my question is this, and I do apologize for not answering your question right up front. This is the second time he's been impeached.
Yes.
So I'm trying to figure out why everybody is so excited about him being impeached for the second time, and nothing happened with getting him out of office the first time.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what happened. What did happen? He was impeached the first time, but because when it went over to the Senate did not approve the impeachment. So for that reason, he was able to stay in office. That's why he was on TV, if you remember, saying that he won and it was unfair and they did an injustice to him because the Senate did not let it go through. This time it's a little different. And I think this time it's going to go through, and the impeachment process is going to happen, and it's going to be effective this time.
But the effect that it's going to have on us now is already done. I mean, he's not going to be there as of Thursday, Friday anyway. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, he's gone.
Okay.
So it's not like it's something big that we're all celebrating about.
Well,
I mean, they tried to push through the 25th Amendment, and they did not get that done. They could have had that done last week when everything happened, but now we're just like at a stalemate.
Okay, Pedro, let me say this to you. One of the things about what's happening right now. And you're absolutely right in what you say. Next week, Wednesday, he'll be out of office. He'll be gone. But what they're doing right now, I think a part of this process right now is the fact that making sure that and enabling that he will never be able to run for office again. There's a lot of things that that as a president he's entitled to, but because of the things that he did as a president, they're trying to make sure that he don't get those things. He get a certain amount of travel expenses for a year. He's guaranteed as an ex-president X amount of money dollars that he's going to get. Because of the fact that he was an ex-president, what this impeachment process is going to do is going to not allow him or take those privileges away from him because of the things that he did. It's almost like when your child do something and you're not going to reward your child for doing something wrong. You're not going to put your child in a situation where they could benefit from doing wrong. They're saying that he did wrong. And I don't know what side you stand on, and you're free to stand on any side that you want to stand on. But we all have to agree with what happened last week, Wednesday, was totally wrong. It was not presidential at all.
Oh, it was definitely wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It was definitely wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And to answer your question about how we get this world back on track, I have no idea, but I think it starts with every single government official
Mm-hmm.
in the United States, especially the one in D.C.,
Mm-hmm.
stating what happened, why they didn't react soon enough, why everything was like, oh, let me see what we can do now, instead of getting the police in there, instead of reacting right away to what was going on and not waiting to see what happened on Capitol Hill.
Okay.
Like they acted with the BLM march.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. See, and that's the thing. I don't think they were prepared. Though some of the senators say that they were prepared, they knew something was going to happen. Much like in next week. I between now and then, I think a lot of things is going to happen between now and then because of the fact that this whole impeachment thing has come about. I think it's going to be some total disruption in our country. So how do we prepare? Let me do this. I want to go to Sharon. Sharon, what's on your heart? Then I'm gonna go back to Paul because I know he got something he wants to speak on this as well. Sharon, what's on your heart?
I think that next week is going to be a hard week for us all. And as far as the situation that happened last week, they put into motion the things like putting the guard out there, they had fair warning that this was going to happen or something close to this was happening. And I think that they didn't underestimate it. They just didn't do what they were supposed to do. And as far as next week is concerned, they're on the right track right now to make sure that he has the protection that he's supposed to have in order. And hopefully he will get through this event and get through the inauguration without a whole lot of stuff going on. But yeah, I do think that they're going to protest next week without a doubt. Yeah. They won't be able to get close, but I definitely do think that they're going to protest all over the country.
Paul, what's on your heart, brother?
Yeah, I agree with what your other guests and callers are saying. The only thing I would add is that, if you follow the right-wing media, this is what's bizarre, because I thought, like I said, I'm obsessed with it. They did a total 180. They were like, this is outrageous. We're going to overturn this whole thing. This was stolen from Trump, and the communists are taking over, blah, blah, blah. And then, boom, they flip on you in a second. So what I'm saying is, like, the problem is huge. This is not a Trump problem. And when Trump's gone, that's going to help. That's going to help a lot. But there's millions of people that see anyone who is not in lockstep with them, we're the enemy, and we have a target. When I first started tuning in, I heard you guys talking about how, you're potentially a target. And it's true. I mean, we are, anyone who isn't straight in line with them, our country is so divided right now. We are like on the, I'm not telling you anything you don't know. We are literally on the verge of civil war.
Yes.
It's crazy.
Yes, absolutely. And what do you think, and Pando, I'm going to ask you this question. What do you think has a potential of happening between now and the inauguration next week? What do you think some of his followers, and lack of a better term, you can call them all kind of things, but some of his followers are going to do or try to do between now and then?
From their actions last week, it seems like they're going to try to stop the inauguration. I mean, I pray for everybody that's going to be there. I pray for Biden. I pray for Kamala, it's just not a good situation. I personally wish they would do an inauguration through Zoom or something because it's not going to be a good situation
Mm-hmm.
this upcoming week. I mean, I just don't see cities and DC being any place, the capital cities and DC being any good place to be in
Mm-hmm.
the upcoming week.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Sharon, what's on your heart?
I mean, I totally agree with what Pandora just said. I don't think it's going to be a safe place to be right now. That's why, so many employers are telling their people, hey, stay home.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want them out there. They don't want to put them in the line of fire because they don't trust the system. And it's sad that at this point of a point of our lives, you can't trust the system. You
Mm-hmm.
don't know which way to go, which way to turn.
Mm-hmm.
So until we get some faith back in ourselves, we're going to continue to be lost as a country.
Wow. Wow. Did you ever think that you would see the day that
No,
something like this would happen?
absolutely not.
And it's
I
all
know I didn't.
and it's all because everybody is showing loyalty instead of, and not to the country. A lot of
So,
people showing loyalty to one individual.
mhm.
To
I
one
think
individual. Paul, what do you say to that, Paul? This loyalty that they're having to this one person. You said something earlier, Paul. Is almost like an antichrist type situation. Do you stand on that, Paul?
Yeah, I do. I'm not exactly a Christian. I'm more of a
Mm-hmm.
deist. I believe in God, but I
Mm-hmm.
believe that there's a lot of wisdom in the Bible,
Mm-hmm.
and I think there are. I think the Book of Revelation does speak some truth about our character as human beings. And one thing I want to say though, that I don't want to be misconstrued. When I said that, there's millions of people that that might think of us as a target. I'm
Mm-hmm.
Hispanic.
Yeah.
So I got a target on me too. But I
Mm-hmm.
don't want people to think. Here's what I don't want people to think. I don't want people to think that all conservatives are racist. I don't
Mm-hmm.
want people to think all conservatives are hateful or idiots
Yes.
or
Yes.
anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's not true. I know that's not true.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where we are, though. We're so divided. We're so polarized that, like you said, everyone's just lining up behind Trump or everyone's lining up over here or over there. We need to reach out. We need to make
Mm-hmm.
friends with these people. Not friends, but we need to become brothers and sisters with them.
Yes. Yes. And that's
Because
something.
they're not all bad. They're not all bad people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Exactly. And that's one of the things that's one of the bridges that I think Biden coming in is going to have to really, really, really put a lot of emphasis on um, closing that gap, because there's a huge gap between all of us right now. There's a huge gap, and it's been open and it's been widened by your former president. I'm calling him now your former president, Donald J. Trump. It's been widened by him. Sharon, what's on your heart?
I do agree that we have a gap. We have a gap in society right now, in Americans. I don't know what it's going to take in order for us all to get back together.
Mm-hmm.
It's so much hatred out there now.
Mm-hmm.
The love is like the love that we once had is gone.
Mm-hmm.
So until everybody decides, okay, we're going to really try and get everything back together, that hatred is going to stem there.
Exactly.
It's like, they had it in their hearts, and then Trump gave them the pass to say, okay, let's go ahead and show this.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sad.
Now, Sharon, I'm always talking about cooking food and stuff like that,
Hmm.
and what happened was, I think what happened was there was a gumbo. And y'all know I love me some gumbo, but the gumbo has been sitting on the stove for a long time. It's been sitting there. But I think what Trump did, he came along, turned the heat up on the stove, and stirred it up a little bit. And
Hmm.
because he stirred it up, there's been and I hate to go here, but this is what we do. We tell the truth. It's only one truth. But there's been a lot of hate in this country for a long time.
Yes.
And hate has been in that pot that we're talking about. And I think what Trump has done, he's turned the heat up on the pot and stirred it up. And when he stirred it up, a lot of people was able to come forth and be exactly who they are. Now it's an idea. Now it's a thing of how do we get the people to a place where we can remove that hate, at least to the point where we can coexist and have a mutual love and respect for each other. Pandora, what do you say to that?
I totally agree. We have to learn how to coexist and live together as one, like we were doing before we got this president. I mean, because before things were bad, but they weren't this bad. So we got to get back to some type of normalcy. And again, I still say it starts with the governments of the major cities coming down and saying, this is what we're going to do. This is what we're not going to tolerate. And this is what we will. And the things that they should tolerate is fairness across the board, which wasn't there before, but it should start being that way, hopefully soon.
Paul, give me 3 ingredients as to what we should do moving forward.
Wow. I don't know. Yeah, I think policies, just take care of the needs of people. That's number one. The leadership, the what is that expression? The fish rots from the head down. And that's so true. You have to have somebody. This is why I lost all respect for the Republicans. It's like they knew he had no leadership skills. You can't put somebody like there who's leading half the country. Biden, he wants to reach out to conservatives. He wants to reach out to everybody, and that's what you need. I think Obama tried to do that.
Yes,
but look how they treated him. I mean, talk about racism. We saw that's when the masks were off, right? I mean, it was obvious how deep our racism problem is in our country.
Paul, let me step in 1 second, Paul. Let me step in 1 second, and I'm so glad that you said that. How much of this Trump administration was a reflection of the hate that they had for the Obama administration?
The whole thing. I mean, you probably saw that press dinner. I think it was in 2012 press dinner, and Obama was clowning Trump, and you could see Trump. He was seething. He was just full of rage because how is a black man going to make fun of me in front of all these people? And unfortunately, that became the catalyst for this piece of garbage. Trying to be polite here.
Thank you.
To be, come to power.
Sharon, what's on your heart? Somebody going into the house right now. Sharon, what's on your heart?
I feel like with everything that's going on in the country right now, unless we come back together, it's going to eventually end up in some type of a war. I think that Biden has his job and has his hands and stuff full right now. At some point, we do have to come together. I mean, we have to come together as humans and as a country and know that, everything happens for a reason. And maybe it happened this way because of the fact that we were so divided. We just didn't see it. Trump just brought the division to the head. He just brought it to the forefront, and now everybody sees it. So where we go from here, the only place we can go is up, because right now I feel we're already at the bottom.
Wow. The United States of America, what they say is the greatest country in the world. Look at where we are. Look at where we are. Pandora, what's on your heart right now?
I just want to thank you guys for answering the call and hearing my thoughts and answering my questions about the impeachment. I think we have a long way to go as a country. I feel bad for Biden getting the presidency in this state.
Yes.
And I hope him and Kamala can make some sort of change. And I really, really hope they have 2 terms to do it. I hope we come together as a country and we just defend ourselves against all the unrighteousness and the injustice that has happened so far. Okay. But I have to go, and I would like to thank you guys for answering my call and inviting me on the news show.
Thank you for calling. We definitely appreciate you. And we're here every week, every Wednesday from from 6 to 7, from 6 to 7. So make sure that don't let this be your first and last time. Call back in. We definitely welcome your call.
Oh no, I will be listening again next Wednesday. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Sharon, what's on your heart?
I just feel like, Raheem, we just have to figure out as a people what we're going to do. Mm-hmm. No matter what direction we decide to go in, I just want us to come together. I want to feel like, I can call on you, anytime. It doesn't have to matter. Color should not be the issue. Yes. It should never be about color, even though all of our lives has always been that way, but it shouldn't be that way.
Now, back in 1960 something, 67, 68, whenever it was, Martin Luther King had "I Have a Dream" speech. I think it may have been 1969. I don't know. Y'all historians, y'all know exactly when it was. But I have a dream speak that one day you will not judge me by the color of my skin, but by the content of my character. Paul, when are we gonna get there?
Wow. Geez, that's such a huge question. I think honestly, I think we're never gonna get there, to be honest, because I think it's kind of ingrained in our nature. I mean, I think a lot of people don't want to face their deeply held biases. They will deny that they have any bias. Oh, I don't even see color. What are you talking about? I'm not, I don't think we're ever going to get there. I think the best we could possibly do is insist that we treat each other with respect and we value that character trait. That has to be our reason for living. You have to have respect in your life. And so I got to take off too here, but I do appreciate you taking my call, and I do check you out on Twitch, and I do enjoy listening to your station.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much, brother. I appreciate that, and keep listening and tell everybody about us. Tell them to tune in, man. We got a lot of different content, but this particular show right here, we're here every Wednesday from 6 to 7. So make sure you come back and call back in, brother. You're more than welcome.
Excellent. I will.
Good deal. God
bless
you.
you.
You too. Sharon, King had that speech. He had that speech back in 1969 where, not by the color of my skin, but by the content of my character. Judge me by the content of my character. Paul said he don't think we'll ever get there. Are you a little more hopeful than that?
I would hope that we would, we'll be able to get there, but it's going to be a long time coming. It's not going to be something that's going to happen immediately. I think it's going to take, months, maybe years for us to get at least a portion of what we once had to get that back.
Now, I got to pull back a couple of layers here. You say to get that back. Have we ever been there? That when you say back, that has to have a semblance of we've been there before. Have we ever been there?
I won't say that we've been completely there, but I'm going to say we had some resemblance of togetherness. I mean, we have not always been this divided. And I think that over time we can get back, if not to where we were, but to a better point in life. What do you think?
It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. Jesus, a lot of times, he always we spoke a lot about the innocence of children. I love them because they're so innocent. And here in Georgia, the Mall of Georgia, they got this big play area where kids go. And I take my grandkids there and just let them run and just let them play. Take the little shoes off and let them just run and let them play, do what they're gonna do. And in that play area, there's black, white, Puerto Rican, Chinese, all different races of children, 2, 3, 4, 5 years old, and they're running around, they're playing, they're talking to each other, they're just having a good time. They're being mindful, and these are children that are being mindful and courteous towards each other. Children. Why can't we take something that those children have, learn from the children, and treat each other in that way?
Because children, they don't see, in a lot of instances, they don't see the white, the black. They don't see that. People, a lot of this hate and animosity that people have with each other is stuff that was instilled not as an adult, but as a child. But as a child, you don't look at the wrong in your playmate. You only look at the fact that, hey, I just made a friend.
Yes.
And that's what they build on that. It's what you learn not only at home, but you learn from being around other people that turn you sometimes into the person that you are. I mean, you have to be smarter than the demon, pretty much. But it's not. It's a learned behavior. That's what I'm just gonna say. It's a learned behavior.
Exactly. I was scrolling on Facebook a couple of days ago, day before yesterday, I think it was, and somebody had a post. It might even be you. I saw it on your page. It might have been your page, but it says that a part time a part time Christian can't defeat a full time devil.
Mm.
And I sent the person a message. I said, look, can I copy that? Can I repost that? And they didn't respond, so I didn't, because it was their post, so I being respectful. But that's so powerful. A
Mm-hmm.
part-time Christian cannot defeat a full-time devil.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's gonna take a full-time assignment by all of us to come together to defeat this devil. A full-time effort on all of our part to defeat this devil. And he's active right now. He's active. And so we have to do what we need to do. And what we have to do to defeat this devil and to be able to move on forward in a positive, in a more comfortable place. What do you say?
I say that the biggest components of it all is love. Right now, what everybody's focusing on is on the hate part of it. And if they start focusing on the love part of it and try to come together, we'll all be fine and we'll be able to defeat that devil that you're talking about. But as long as the mindset is what it is right now, we'll never be able to defeat it.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So, truth of the matter, only one truth. We got a lot of work to do.
Yes, we do.
We got a lot of work to do. But my thing is, if we come together, join hands, lock arm in arm, and do what we have to do, what we need
Hmm.
to do, what we know that we must do, we can defeat him.
That's
We
true.
can. We can. But it's so much easier to win when we all pulling in the same direction. It's so much easier to win that way. But if we playing tug of war, pulling back and forth, we'll never get anywhere. We'll just wear each other out. And who wins in that situation? Who wins?
No one.
No one. No one. What's on your heart, sister? This has been a great broadcast. This has been good. This has been good. This been gooder and gooder. It's getting gooder and gooder. Ain't that a word? Gooder and gooder. And I want to thank everybody that's actually watching us in their living rooms on Twitch TV. I want to thank you all for joining us as well. Facebook Live, Periscope, Instagram. We all over the place. YouTube. I know I'm forgetting somebody on DKM Media Group. How can we forget our own platform? But I want to thank you all for joining us and continue to spread the word. Let everybody know that only one truth is here every Wednesday from 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on DKM Media Group and Associates. Sharon, talk to your people, talk to your folks, tell your folks something.
I just want us all y'all to just come, to come together. I think that, as a nation, we are the most powerful nation out there.
Mm-hmm.
And if we could just get some of that love back, some of that respect back, because trust, once that trust is broken, it's hard for that trust to come back. And it's going to be a long journey, a very long journey. And I just wish that we could all come back together, some shape, form, or fashion, so we can all be happy.
Exactly. And I really believe I'm silly enough to believe that we can do it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm silly enough to believe that we can make this thing happen.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also wise enough to know that there are some elements out there that really don't want it to.
Yeah.
There are some elements out there that don't. When you start talking about power and the loss of power or losing their positions, some people are more concentrated on their positions than they are about us all winning together collectively. Some people don't want to lose their footing.
That's true.
It's sad as it is. Some people, they've been in this position for a long time, and now you're coming here, you're trying to disrupt this good thing I got going on. Well, this good thing ain't for everybody. If you want to be that selfish, that's fine. But I like to think of my grandkids. What kind of world are we going to leave to them? What are we going to leave to our grandkids? You got grandkids as well.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of world do you want to leave with them? And if we all take that stance and say, look, we want to leave a better. We've lived our life. We've lived, and hopefully we're gonna have a lot of life still to go. But at the same time, we have to be mindful of what we're going to leave for our grandchildren. What kind of world we're going to leave for them? Does it even matter? What do you say to that?
I say it does matter, and I wish we could leave them a world of peace,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
not the type of world that we're living in right now. I would hate for them to grow up in this world and then always feel like they have a target on their back. I want them to feel like they're safe. They can do anything that they want to do because that's what I tell mine. There's nothing that you can't do. There's nothing that's out of your reach.
Mm-hmm.
Always reach for your stars because you're always better than the next. But you got to believe in yourself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Man, again, this is a good broadcast, man. What is on your heart right now? Is there anything you want to say in our closing before we get out of here?
No, I just want, like I said, I just want us all want this world to come together.
Mhm.
I'm glad that Trump is these his last final days. That makes me really, really happy. And I know that Biden's going to do a heck of a job.
Mm-hmm. So you have confidence in him?
Total confidence that he's going to make everything work, everything come together. It's going to take some time. It's
Mm-hmm.
going to take some work, but I
Mm-hmm.
do believe that we all can come together. And I believe that he's the man to make that happen. Him
Now,
and come.
now, this young lady that's in VP, what's she gonna do?
Oh, she going to make it shine.
You think so?
I think that I think she's the perfect asset. She would be the perfect vice president for him because of where he falls. I think that she'll be able to pick him up or pick up the pieces and go on if
Mm-hmm.
necessary.
Okay. Now, what advice would you give your sister? I'm gonna put you on full screen. What advice would you give your sister, Kamala, Miss VP Kamala Harris?
I would tell Kamala that I know that she is more than qualified to do what she needs to do. I think that if she just stands her ground and continue on the path in which she's already shown, everything is going to be just fine. I wish her peace. I wish her happiness, and I wish her the best in her job.
Sound like you was about to sing that Frankie Beverly Mays. Sure.
You know it, right?
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Well, listen, it is what is this 6:57?
Hmm.
Time for us to get out of here for today. We will be here. Keep in mind, we will be here every week from 6 o'clock until 7 o'clock. I keep telling you because I don't want you to forget. 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock. So make sure you join them. Make sure you join us. Make sure you share it. Make sure you tell all your family, your friends, your enemies, and everybody that and get you a couple of carrier pigeons, put it on it, tie it on their leg, and let them go out there and moist cold and all this stuff. Let everybody know that only one truth. There's only one truth, and we're here to tell it. Only one truth. Now, the truth is Trump has been impeached for the second time. Truth is, he's not going to make it to the end of the road. Truth is, we have to do better. Truth is, we have to show love, respect, honor, and compassion for each other. There's only one truth, and we are here to tell it. Young lady, thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank
Thank
you. And
you.
everybody wear your pearls on the 20th.
I ain't got no pearls.
Yes, they do.
I ain't got no pearls. What pearl we got?
Women wear your pearls on the 20th.
Oh, I ain't got no pearl. Pearls? I'm a man. I ain't got no pearl. I'm a man.
Yes,
Listen.
we got them.
You know I got to be silly, but listen, it's been a great broadcast. It is now 6:58. It's time to get out of here for Only One Truth. I want to thank you for joining us, and more than that, thank you for allowing DK and Media Group and Only One Truth to be a part of your evening. Come back and join us. We look forward to having you with us. We look forward to moving forward with you. It is now 58 out. We got to get out of here, but before we go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us because we're certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody, and give them a hug because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. I love you, and ain't nothing you could do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. And we shine some of this light on you from only one truth. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in and let your light so shine. Love somebody. You never know. You just might find some love in return. Y'all have a great one. Salute. Love you.